Hi, welcome to day 2 of the Noosa Festival of Surfing. He's a busy man, but I've managed to track down Captain Paul Watson. Paul, welcome to the festival this year. You've been here before?
Yes, thank you. Yes, a couple of years ago, and I really like this event because it's not just professional surfers, and it really represents the surfing community right around the world, and really illustrates the connections that surfers have with our oceans.
So you're the founder of Sea Shepherd. Can you tell us your key objectives for the organization?
I established the Sea Shepherd Conservation Society not as a protest group, but as a group to intervene against poaching. So we're an anti-poaching organization. We oppose illegal activities. And that's the reason for 33 years we've been able to do what we do, and without getting arrested, without hurting anybody, without even being sued, because we oppose criminal operations.
So you're obviously very passionate about the ocean, dedicating your life to saving wildlife. What inspired you as a young child, other than The Little Mermaid and Free Willy?
Well, way before. I think I'm a little older than The Little Mermaid and Free Willy. When I was 10 years old, I lived in an eastern Canadian fishing village, and I used to swim with the beavers in the beaver pond all the time. And then one winter, the trappers came in and took all the beavers. They're all gone, and I became pretty upset. And the next year, I began to walk the trap lines and free the animals from the traps and destroy the traps, and that's sort of where I got started. And then I was the youngest founding member of Greenpeace when I was 18.
Are you a surfer yourself? Do you surf?
Not much now. I used to in the 60s and the 70s, but different boards back then. But yeah, back then I was.
What sort of campaigns are you running at the moment?
Right now, the Steve Irwin is leaving today from Tasmania. We'll be heading towards the Mediterranean to oppose the bluefin tuna poachers. The Bob Barker is going to be repaired. We'll be going back to the Southern Ocean to protect whales again at the end of the year. We have a full-time campaign in the Galapagos Islands to work with the rangers and the federal police to stop poaching there. We have a big campaign to stop shark finning in Central America, illegal fishing off of Brazil, and we're trying to stop the slaughter of dolphins in Taiji, Japan.
Okay, so you're very busy.
Well, I don't know if I'm busy. My crew's busy.
And how many ships have you got running at the moment?
Right now we have the Bob Barker in Hobart, the Steve Irwin leaving Hobart, and we have the Sirenian in the Galapagos, and we had the Audi Gill, but it was rammed and sunk by the Japanese this year, so we're trying to replace that.
So there's a lot of media attention, and it can be very dangerous out at sea. Have you ever stopped to think during one of your campaigns, like, well, what am I doing, or were you ever rattled?
Well, I've been doing this pretty much for 40 years, so it's become sort of a matter of routine. And in that 40 years, I've actually never had any crew member injured. We're very, very cautious, and we design our tactics so that they don't injure anybody. And also we try to design tactics that are effective, but at the same time amusing. That's why we use stink bombs and water cannons and balloon slingshots and things like this. But I think we've been very careful about that, and I hope that we never ever have an injury or cause an injury.
So if this campaign doesn't frighten you, does anything frighten you?
What frightens me is what we're doing to our oceans. That if we destroy the fisheries, if we destroy the whales, the sharks, and the other species in the ocean, we cause diminishment in the ocean. The oceans could die, and if the oceans die, we all die. I don't think that the average person really understands and fully realizes just how intimate we are with the ocean, that it is the very foundation of our life. If the oceans die, civilization collapses. And so it's really a question of self-preservation.
I think surfers can understand this because obviously we're very passionate about the ocean. Have you got much support from the surfing industry community?
Dave Rostovich and Kelly Slater are on our advisory board, and we've had a long association with the surfing community, because I look at two groups, surfers and scuba divers, as the people that can really understand what we're trying to do. And so, yeah, I think I always look on surfers as almost like the priesthood of the ocean. They're there feeling the ocean and communicating that connection to the rest of us.
And what could the average person do to support your campaigns?
Anybody can become a member of the Sea Shepherd Conservation Society, certainly a supporting member, and if people are really interested, they can actually volunteer to crew on board the ships. But the more support we get, the stronger we become, and every year we're getting stronger and more effective.
So what's your goal for this year?
We just finished our most successful campaign against the Japanese whaling fleet. I'm sure we've cut their quota more than half. We've cost them probably $80 million in losses. That's the language they really understand. And I'm really confident that we'll be able to drive them out of the Southern Ocean. We're also hoping that we'll be able to stop the bluefin tuna poaching in the Mediterranean. The bluefin tuna is down to less than 15% of its original numbers, and it's on the endangered species list now, so it's illegal to fish it. But the demand for it in Japan, one bluefin tuna goes for about $150,000 per fish, and with it being on the endangered species list, probably go up close to $500,000 per fish. So when you got that kind of price tag on your head, you got a lot of people out there gunning for you. So the bluefin needs protection, and that's what we're going to do, is protect them. But it's going to be a very difficult campaign because pretty much all of the bluefin tuna poaching in the Mediterranean is under the auspices of the mafia. So a bunch of bad boys we're going up against.
Are you ever afraid of the wildlife or any of the animals endangering anybody?
No, the only animal I'm afraid of is a human animal, really. I've never, in fact, I just worked for the last few years with Jacques Perrin on a movie called Oceans, and some of the footage in there is incredible. People will be absolutely amazed. One of the divers swam alongside a great white, a 21-foot great white shark for 20 minutes, side by side. The great white looked at him, he looked at them, and they were just sort of like buddies going through the ocean. I think if you really understand these species, then you can live in harmony with them. And I find it always absurd when people say, well, sharks attack people. Well, yeah, about an average of 5 shark attacks a year on people, but we kill 75 million of them. And in fact, it's actually safer to go surfing or scuba dive than it is to play golf, because statistically more people are struck by lightning on golf courses than are attacked by sharks every year. And in fact, when you think about it, the average number of people killed by sharks every year is 5. The average number of people killed by ostriches every year is 100. So the ostrich is 20 times more dangerous than the shark, but nobody's afraid of ostriches.
Yeah, well, hopefully we'll see no sharks at the point this year. Have you managed to get down there and watch any of the events?
I saw some of the events yesterday. Yeah, it was really nice.
And you were down there for the opening ceremony?
Yes, for the opening ceremony too. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for joining us. It's a privilege to have you here, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your week.
Thank you.